Hello, Quarantine Tribe. Now, I think we've mastered here the skills of virtually supporting each other around coaching and well-being. My question is, has anyone discovered a virtual hairdresser yet? Because every time I get on this, I look at my hair being more and more big and out there and crazy and can't rein it in. And I'm thinking, oh, I need a haircut. So welcome if you've just joined me. My name is Anna. I'm the mindfulness coach. So my intention is to be able to bring the tools for self-care and the opportunity for self-growth for everyone. I don't feel that coaching is a privilege that should stay in the boardroom. And I feel that mindfulness should definitely come away from the incense sticks and the hippies, and it should be reclaimed by us. Because ultimately, these are the tools that can help us grow. And if ever we've needed a time to grow and to take care of ourselves, it's now. So if you're watching this video either now, live, welcome, or if you're watching it later on, do you want to do a hashtag, even if you're a bit like, oh, hashtag? I must just say, my computer is so old, I don't have a hashtag on it. So I have to cut and paste a hashtag from somewhere. So, but if you're watching this now or later on, then hashtag Team QT, and that means that other people watching can join in as well. And I also want to talk to you about something really exciting that's happening soon. Hi. And I want to talk to you about something really exciting that's happening soon as well in Team QT, which is our virtual wellbeing festival. Now, it's a funny old time, isn't it? And I can imagine for me as well as for you, kind of the novelty of being home might have dipped a little bit. It's like, okay, this is getting real now. And we all are in need of a bit of a boost of motivation. So from the 23rd until the 30th, all the Team QT teachers are going to be putting on a really tailored program. So this is going to be the kind of the top-notch sessions delivered, personalized to you. So I've put a link in my description so you can click on that and you can register for the festival, and then you get lots of information about it. It really is it's a great opportunity to get some structure into your day, to try out things that you wouldn't normally do. So we have life coaches, we have mental health therapists, we have nutritionists, we've got Gabriella and Heather. Hello, both of you. Thanks for joining me. I'm doing my sales pitch at the moment, so I expect you to rush straight away after this and sign up for the virtual wellbeing festival. So it's a great chance to try out different classes that you wouldn't normally, and it's all for free as well. So it really is a great resource. If you know people struggling at the moment, then this might be your time where you just want to say, hey, look, do you know about this? Would you be keen on taking part on this? What I've noticed myself is some of the newness, some of the novelty of us being at home might have started to wear off, and it's getting quite tough now. So this is the time where we really need to look after ourselves. So structure is so important now. Reaching out to friends is really important now. Hi, Shaggy. You're going to make me laugh now seeing you pop up. So this is a time where we reach out to people and say, oh, have you heard of this? Why don't you use this support? So one of the great things about Quarantine Tribe is that these resources are free. They're all live, so there's interaction from the teachers as well. So if you're feeling a little bit lonely or just in need of some social contact, then this is a great space for you, because we really are here for you. If you pop stuff up, we'll answer back, we'll get back to you. And I've had some really nice I love you too. I've had some really nice feedback from people after the sessions saying how it's impacted on them as well. And I do this because I need to do this. I do this because I need to be able to help at a time like this. So and I'm sure same for you. Being able to participate and to join in and learn a skill is so important. So I think you get the message of how important I feel that this festival is. It's a really great way for us to virtually connect, to be part of something, to have a sense of completion and getting involved in different things. So give it a go, sign up there. Also a little bit about me. So I've been working for 20 years and supporting people to grow in some capacity. I started off as an occupational therapist working in mental health, and across the years, ultimately the underpinning ethos has been, how can I encourage you and support you to be your best self? So that's what we're going to think about today, and with the use of mindfulness meditation. And something that I hear a lot from people is, I don't have time for mindfulness. I don't have the time to sit on the cushion for 10 minutes. And that's fair enough. Yeah, it does take time. And you're not necessarily going to buy into something if you don't know what it entails. So how about we just did it during the day? What about if we use those times that normally we check out and we start to tune in? So checking out, it might be when we're in a queue. It might be when we are on the loo. I feel like a rhyme starting now. I'm not going to rhyme it. In a queue, on the loo, going up in the lift. It might be that you notice, even when you're looking on Instagram or something, there's a sense of scrolling. It might be cooking, it might be eating. So these are the things you're going to do during the day anyway. And it might be in a meeting, or it might be something you just think, oh God, this is so dull. And you hear your mind start to really chat and go into the narrative of, what a waste of time this is. I wish this person would hurry up. Could they be your times to do your mindfulness practice? So could that be, and what I mean by that is, can you tune in? How does the body feel? How am I feeling? I'm feeling my shoulders are up. I'm feeling my neck is tight. I'm feeling my mind is really busy. I'm feeling okay, my heart rate is a bit fast here. So we're starting to tune in. And I bet you 1,000 baht. I'm sorry, I'm not going to give it to you, but I bet you virtually that actually, if you start to tune into how your body and mind is feeling, you start to get a little bit curious. Wait a second. I can really feel, I can really feel the weight on my heels, and I can feel what the cold carpet, the cold floor is like, or, I can feel, and then by doing that, you start to get curious. And I've said it before, but I think it's really important to remember you can't be curious and depressed at the same time. So it's like, as soon as you start to get curious, it's a bit like, this is quite interesting. What's going on here? It's the same part of your brain that lights up. That's my crude description of it. Someone's going to get in contact with me and say, that's not correct. So factoid, you can't be curious and depressed at the same time. So if we start to get curious about those times when we normally check out, that can be your practice. And that's a place to start. So don't beat yourself up if you're not spending 10, 15 minutes, every day meditating. Even if you join me at the beginning and it's like, I'm really impatient, I've got other things to do. Don't worry, that's okay. But what if it just became, when you tune out, you tune in. So that's the invitation. And also when you tune in, checking what your breath is like. So noticing your breath. Your breath I describe as your best friend. It's always been there. It's your most loyal friend as well. You can ignore it for months and years, and do you know what? Still be there, still there for you. And it's a great indicator of how you are. So if you start to tune into your breath and you realize, it's really fast, or it's I'm feeling it in my chest, or I'm feeling it up here. Okay, maybe you need to work on slowing your breath down a little bit. Or maybe if you're noticing you're really sleepy or really tired, maybe you can see what it's like to speed up your breath a little bit. And just as a rule of thumb, and I find this incredibly useful, if you make your out breath longer, you will calm down. Yeah, it engages what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, and you will start to relax. And if you make your in breath longer, you'll start to wake up. So if you're noticing you're tired, making your in breath longer. If you're noticing you are maybe agitated or you're stressed in any way, making your out breath longer, and just spending a minute or two doing that. So that's a couple of tips for you of how you can bring mindfulness into your day-to-day without anything too woo-woo. I do have my incense sticks up there, but they're saved for special occasions, so you don't need those, but you can start to build in being more present. And as I've said before, and I'm happy to share the benefits of mindfulness, this isn't out there. This isn't, I can only think of swear words. This isn't rubbish. This isn't, the evidence, but that's a really crude way of saying this is really based on evidence. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. My background is science backgrounds, and this is, this mindfulness meditation has amazing evidence base of its benefits for you. And so actually tuning into being more present means that you can more skillfully deal with some of the crap that life gets thrown at you. You don't just react to it, but you learn to respond in ways that are more in line with the person you want to be. You can more skillfully deal with things that are coming up. And it also means that you're more alive for the good stuff. Do you ever get that feeling of just kind of, you're like constantly waiting for the next thing, to the next thing, the next thing? You might have had a great party, but you're waiting for the next thing. Or even you're eating your main and you're thinking about your dessert. So we're so rarely there. So by being more in the present, we can be more alive to this life. It's value for life we're getting here. That's why I do it. I'm just greedy. I'm greedy for life. So I meditate because I want value for life. So that's why we're doing it. So our practice today is called Giving and Receiving Compassion. And this is really important for all of us, about us not burning out in these times. So we probably have friends and family members who are in difficulty, and we're constantly, are you okay? Is everything okay? And reaching out to them. And that's really natural, and that's driven from a place in your heart. Put my hands on my heart here. However, if we're continually doing that, we can start to feel a little bit frazzled. So this is a practice where we can nourish ourselves as well as we give to other people. So finding let me just see if anyone else is. Incredibly simple to be mindful, isn't it? We have the opportunity this moment. So having your feet flat on the floor, and if you want to, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, having like a soft gaze, maybe not staring at the screen. You might choose, if you're particularly sleepy, you might choose to have the eyes half open. And having a sense of lifting from the crown of the head, dropping through the shoulders. So what we're doing here is we're falling awake rather than falling asleep. Just for now, we're stepping out of that busy doing mode. Permission to be. What's a great place to be? The only place to be is in this body, in your body. So allowing the gaze to come internally, and let's start by coming up close to the feelings through the soles of the feet. So really having a sense of how your feet feel today. Noticing what they are against, what they're touching. Maybe cold floor, a rug. So noticing the temperatures here. Noticing if you can really feel your toes, the space between your toes. So your mind might say, oh, I can't feel anything. Oh, thank you, mind. Let's come back to being in your toes and feeling them as if for the first time. Because perhaps it is the first time you've really felt your toes. And having a sense of the weight through your heels, through the left and right foot. And then gathering that awareness, the torch beam of attention, and bringing it up the legs to rest on the sensations of the breath in the body. So there's no need to change the breath in any way. It's been doing perfectly well. up until now. Just see what it's like to turn the awareness to it. So you start to become conscious of the breath. You start to become aware of exactly where you feel it. Maybe the stretching on the belly, the chest area. Maybe you can feel the temperature changing around the nostril. And possibly noticing that no two breaths are the same. So coming up close to and getting curious about this unique pattern of breathing. Never before will you have breathed like this. And if your mind wanders, which it will, which is what minds are trained to do, we design our minds in such a way that they're busy. If you've noticed it's wandered from the breath, then the invitation is gently, with a warmth, a friendliness, bringing the awareness back to this breath. So within mindfulness meditation, we're concerned with what we're focusing on, as well as how we're focusing. And what we practice grows stronger. So seeing if we can welcome the wandering mind with a friendliness, with a knowing love. Being aware of the in-breath and the out-breath. Leaning into it, being fascinated by it, like you watch a lover. And then let's bring our awareness so we focus most of our attention on the in-breath. So really noticing what it feels like to breathe in. Allowing the out-breath to take care of itself. As we fill the lungs with the in-breaths, we notice sensations in the body as we breathe in. And asking yourself, what is it I need to breathe in for myself now? So perhaps choosing to infuse the in-breath with a word, with a feeling, with an image. So seeing what it's like if as we breathe in, we're conscious of the breath rejuvenating the body, replenishing us, as well as also breathing in something else that serves us well, maybe strength or love or warmth. You might want to choose to put a hand on the heart also. So the physical contact really helps us to soothe, it releases oxytocin. However, it also reminds us of this intention to be kind and warm to ourselves. So breathing in for ourselves, what we need. And then allowing the awareness to move to the out breath. So noticing what it feels like in the body to breathe out. You might also want to just check in with how the body and mind are feeling now. So maybe you can feel the out breath, sense of softening through the body. So letting the in-breath take care of itself now, as your attention rests on the out-breath, elongating the out-breath, maybe even choosing to make it slightly audible. And then bringing to mind someone who you love. Maybe someone who you know is struggling at the moment and could do with this breath being dedicated to them. So taking a moment to build an image or a felt sense of this person or this animal, this loved one. And as you breathe out, maybe adding and infusing the breath with something that this person needs right now. So dedicating the out-breath of compassion and kindness to them with an extra flavoring. Use love, strength, smiles. So breathing out to this person, even though we can't see each other physically at the moment, we can still support each other virtually. So directing the out-breath to this person in need, or this loved one. And if your mind wanders, which it will, just coming back to this breath. And now being aware of both the in-breath and the out-breath. And as you breathe in, see what it's like to breathe in for you. And as you breathe out, having the image of the loved one that you're breathing out for. In for you, out for them. You might even want to bring in a slight movement to the body. Breathing in for me, breathing in what I need, breathing out for the loved one. and what they need. And for me, not for you. And maybe you want to continue to infuse the breath with a word or a need. And perhaps you feel that they need a little bit more than you. So maybe you want to go 2 breaths for them, 1 breath for me. And if your hand is still in your heart, perhaps giving it a little move around. You might want to make sure that skin on skin to really feel the warmth. So breathe in for you and out for a loved one. You might feel that you need a little bit more now. So 2 breaths for you and 1 for them. And let's expand who we're breathing out for. So let's also breathe out for the rest of us together who are practicing today. We may not know each other, but we're here. We've formed a community. We're sharing the desire to take care of ourselves and others. So breathing in for us, breathing out for the community, breathing out for others. But always remembering to breathe in something for you. And perhaps you want to bring just the suggestion of a smile to your face, to the corners of your eyes, and to inside your mouth. Noticing what this does to the face and a sense of being warm to your experience. Allowing this breath to touch you and to touch others. Noticing how your body feels now, being nourished through this in-breath, this replenishing breath. As we allow the awareness to return to the simple act of breathing. So feeling the breath returning to our best friend. Our loyal best friend who is always there to support us, to guide us. So let's indulge in a few last breaths together, really breathing in through the nose and allowing the breath to go with a sigh. Noticing how good a sigh feels. I can't hear you. You can be as loud as you want to. Possibly making the last one a roar. So allowing yourself to smile. Starting to bring an awareness back to the body. Checking in with how you're feeling now. No rush. It's not like this switch where we switch on and off the mindfulness. See what it's like. It's just it. We continue to be aware of how our body feels even as we go about our day. So starting to bring some movement into the fingers, the toes. You don't even need to open your eyes yet. You can stretch. And then you might choose to just a fraction open your eyes and start letting in some light. See what colours hit you. You can see the bright red of my background. And then gently opening your eyes. Thank you for that today. So that practice was called Giving and Receiving Compassion. I pop up in Quarantine Tribe quite a bit. I've got quite a few different guided meditations here. I also do a bite-sized coaching session. So if you're feeling a little bit stuck for direction in life, have a look at that, or get in contact with me if there's any way I can help. I really do. I'm hands on heart. My intention at the moment is to be able to support us all as much as possible. So let me know what you thought of this, and yeah, I will see you here in these four corners very soon. Lots of love. Let me know your thoughts.